and I will gather myself a little bit because this is going to be a slightly technical explanation, one that I really want to get right because I plan on clipping this out and putting it up somewhere to share around on Bsky because yes, fine, I'm not here to again do any bootlicking or apologetics. Bsky's policy update is not great, putting it rather gently. But there is more to it than just that. There is some silver lining to what's going on the platform, and equally because Bsky's communication isn't great, but also because I feel as though they need to keep this a little bit quiet. Their policy is one thing, but their tech tells a different story. This is something I noticed very early in the day when I joined Bsky, but I haven't heard much about since then. And this is where I delve into a crash course about Bsky's primary data server, I think, versus their app setup. Okay, it's going to get a little technical. I'm going to do my best to simplify this. Normally, when you're using an app, right, a service of some kind, what you are doing is using an app to interface with a provider's data server. Okay, this is the same thing that has been like across the board, even with Twitter, when because it was such a mature, like well-developed service, there were also many other client apps that could interface with Twitter's servers. They had permission to up until a certain person, and that's being generous, decided to put an end to that. But ultimately, the data that was being made available on the central server was long. If on the central data server, your account was marked as banned, and as a result of that, hidden away from all of the apps that try to access it, right? If your account is hidden away centrally, no one can see this. But on the flip side, if the data is structured in such a way that the app can choose whether or not to show that account content, whatever, based on that flagging system, then each other app can decide what is kosher and allowable on their front end. Okay. Now, something that I have been seeing mentioned time and again, and rightly so, is paraphrasing, what the hell is the point of having a flagging system and labeling system on your database if you're not going to allow people to choose what they want to see in the first place? And that is very, very important because that's kind of the whole point. Effectively, what Bsky is aiming for is to have the labeling system also be marked as to facilitate ways in which individual moderation services, which is also already a feature that is available on Bsky's I forget what it's called, like tech stack, let's call it that, can decide based on their own rules what is allowed and what is not, barring let's say illegal content, like actual things that can get Bsky's PDS into real danger. What they want to do is to leverage the labeling system to offload that banning onto the app. On the same article that I got this information from, and frankly these exact same diagrams, the person who wrote it explained further in this their opinions on this. Suspensions on Bsky affecting other apps is bad. This is a good opinion to have. Bans at the PDS level are also ineffective. The reason they mention this is because all you need to do as a user is to migrate your data off of that server onto a secondary PDS, and you're back in action, right? And there are actually other PDSs that are being crowdfunded and ramped up. I can't remember the name of it, but I came across one while talking about it on Bsky. And as I mentioned already, they address that the Bsky application server allows clients to replace completely the labeling system. And again, this is an option you can find yourselves already. If you go into your settings and have a rummage around, you'll find that there's an option to change your moderation service, which is effectively the system that decides what is what, as in the thing that auto-detects whether what you have posted is adult in nature or not, often mistakenly. And in doing so, if you can simply just grab that system and replace it, plug it onto the main PDS with your own sensibilities, shall we say, right? What should be allowable or not on public servers, then you effectively bypassed Bsky's policy with your own. After all of this, they expressed that this whole paradigm is being fixed. And you might ask, okay, so who's this upstart who's saying all of this? Like, why should I care? As it just so happens, this is from Paul Frezzi, the Chief Technology Officer of Bsky. The guy who decides what is done with the development of the software in Bsky. A slightly important opinion, right? And if you want to see this for yourselves and also to link back to my source, here's the URL, tinyurl.com/bskypdss. I will type it in the chat if I can avoid typos.